Yes, guys, that's right. Everybody go get your water. I see at least 2 people in chat off to get water at the same time as me. That is what I like to see. Alright, here we go. Eekso versus Jwols. Make them do random pre-sec cards? Nah. Let them play their mains, mate. Rank 1 EU Eekso. Against rank 7 EU Jwols. They're currently teammates, so although there's a bit of a rank disparity between them, you can expect Eekso, or rather you can expect Jwols to have maybe a slightly better read on what Eekso likes to do, because he gets to see him play quite a lot. You know, albeit 3v3. Some of the tendencies to crossover, especially for Eekso, who loves to use aerial play in his game. Loves to use anything related to going fast. That's a very nice play by Eekso not to go to the side boost here. Look at the fast shot by Jwols though. Just snapping it right over his head. And he didn't take much of a run up here. A bit of a deceptive play there for Jwols. Really nicely done. Stream title. Do we have any mods in chat right now who could change that for me? Because I'm lazy. But thank you. I will change the stream title if there are no mods. I will do that myself. Actually, I think King Spectre went to get his dinner, so I'll do it right now. Eekso versus Jwols. There we go. Title. Done. Should be ready. Early lead for the underdog, and he's going to get a second one here. Eekso can't quite keep it out. There's 2-0 inside the first minute for Jwols. Eekso there actually had a chance to challenge, and it might have worked. He was worried that Jwols would cut the ball harshly infield and take it past him. But he probably wishes that he did challenge, just to force at least a play from Jwols. Nice placement from Eekso to get 1 goal back. Jwols gave him a lot of space here. Eekso chose not to cross him over, but he still got the ball past him. The challenge did come in pretty sideways. Yeah, guys, don't laugh at the mods. King Spectre even messaged me to say that he was going to get his dinner. I don't even tell these guys when I'm going to stream. They have to be ready at any time. Eekso with a dunk attempt at the end of this play. Bumps Jwols miles away from the ball. And early dodges to finish the shot. Precision from Eekso to tie up the game after a bit of pretty urgent violence. Jwols is about to start a counter-attack there. Mod you for 1 stream per year that you'll show up. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'd never bother modding too many people, because I think you don't need that many mods at Twitch streamer. I didn't used to have any in the chat. It was totally fine. Just got a couple because there was a few times I was casting tournaments and I really just couldn't pay any attention to chat at all, so I needed somebody else to do it for me. Before that, I didn't have pretty much anybody. I had a couple of mods, but they didn't do anything, you know? Hey Gav, thanks to 23-month tier 1. I appreciate that. You always say this about the Twitch Prime.
Got guilt-tripped into giving Scrub my Twitch Prime, so here is some actual money. Gingerly for the mod.
Dunk by Jwols.
Johnny and Ilban Lenny cuxa.
But what if we don't want to ban Lenny? That would be a terrible play. 6 boost Eekso. You know, he can still be pretty dangerous with this, but Jwols calls his bluff. And now he's in a very advantageous position. He's just trying to make sure that Eekso doesn't have any avenues to counter-attack or get 100 boosts back. He's going to have to run all the way back into his own half to do that. And now Eekso has had some time to path over some pads. He's perfectly timed the respawn of the 100, but Jwols is low 50-50 to under him to take another 2-goal lead. That's not the first time he's been ahead by 2 this match. Jwols is looking pretty in control right now. Very impressive stuff. Eekso, as we all know, can be a bit hot and cold sometimes. He'll be winning 10-0 one game and then own goaling in the next. Kickoff goal is going to make it 3-goal lead for Jwols. Eekso needing to go back to the drawing board with that one. In the Manfield Night 5K, Eekso's kickoffs were a bit suspect in his first match that he played in the tournament. That was against Flakes. But then as the tournament progressed, he started to look a little bit better in that regard. I don't know if the fact that these guys are teammates will help Jwols or Eekso in kickoffs especially, because that's something they probably talk about quite a lot. I know that pro teams do like to discuss that. It is the only set piece in the game. One thing we do know about Eekso is that when he doesn't have boost, he prefers to ball pressure usually. He'll rarely back off unless he has to. And look at that from Eekso. So he squeezed it in with the floor pinch. And that needed to be this accurate. Look at that timing though. He's got a second touch on it as it bounces back up. And it's in off the far post. Now Jwols if he didn't do the qualifier, he definitely got knocked out. I think what happened with Jwols in the Manfield Night 5K is I offered him an invite space to the closed qualifier, but he had to decline because he was busy, if I'm not mistaken. But Jwols has been one of the... Usually he'll be top 10 EU for 1v1 for the most of last year. He has been high rated for a long, long time. And he's had a couple of pretty impressive on-stream performances as well. So he won't be feeling too nervous, I'm sure. And he knows that coming in today against Eekso, he's a pretty big underdog, of course. And I think that's going to help him more than hinder him, at least at the start of the match. Another low 50-50 attempted. Eekso's double jump by accident, and Jwols makes it 3. Satnav, thanks to the 9-month Prime sub.
10 months.
10 total. So this is the new Twitch thing. If you lost a streak of subscriptions on Twitch, then don't worry, you can now see the total months that you've been subscribed for by just resubbing to a Twitch streamer. It will tell you how many times you've subscribed to them in the past in total, which I think is a much better way to count subs than the actual streak in a row, because sometimes people just go on a holiday for a while and they forget to look at a stream and then they lose their streak, and it's a bit of a shame if you've lost a huge sub streak. I remember I lost I think the longest sub streak that I lost was to Scrub Killer after like 10 months. Or I lost a 5 streak and then I lost a 6 streak and then I got a current streak up to like 14. So, got it all back now. Eekso's nearly got this game back. Only a goal now. He's trailing. Jwols looking for a bump off the kickoff goal play. Eekso will just continue to pressure when he loses the boost battle. This is what he likes to do when his opponent has the ball. Just chase them all the way into their half. And then when they turn to get their 100 boost in the corner, he'll go back and get his, because it's probably respawned by then. That's an equalizer by Eekso. He waited till he saw or sniffed out the challenge from Jwols, who did not pressure Eekso until far too late. And he hasn't challenged from goal side as well. A couple of defensive blunders for Jwols this game, mostly with the alignment of his challenges. He's coming from angles that don't really block many shots that Eekso could be making. He needs to try and shore up on that weakness, or Eekso will continue to punish him. For the time being, he's got himself into a decent spot here. He's looking for a bump onto Eekso, but the ball's ran ahead of him a bit too much. Eekso's going to catch him with the demo now. This is trouble for Jwols. Can he stop Eekso on the counter? No, he can't, because the boom flick to the top corner is just too good. That's very impressive stuff from Eekso. He didn't waste any time at all. He's just gone end to end and put a flick in at 106 kilometers an hour. What a comeback. He was down by 3, now he's up by 1. 19 seconds left. Jwols will be scratching his head a little bit, thinking, what did I do wrong here? I looked like I had the game under control. I'll tell you what, you might have another chance here. Eekso is on extremely low boost at the moment, and Jwols has 100. Couldn't get it past Eekso though. He just ran straight into him. This is the last chance for Jwols. He's fallen prey to Eekso's fake challenge, but Eekso's not going to go for it, and that's a rebound on 0 second for Jwols. And I thought Eekso had it after he faked the challenge and got Jwols to hit it off the wall, but he didn't have the boost to go up for the rebound himself and miss. And into overtime we go, game 1. Jwols with an excellent script here. And you know, he might have got a fake, he might have fallen for a fake challenge from Eekso, just popped it over at Eekso's head, but it worked out and he had to do something. Of course, a real challenge there for Eekso would have been disastrous for Jwols unless he did chip the ball into the back wall. Nice 50 by Jwols. He's got Eekso in a bit of an awkward spot, and Eekso doesn't have good vision of Jwols. He's had to run straight at the ball just to prevent Jwols from scoring in the blind spot. Now Eekso does take control in the back corner. Jwols knows better than to challenge Eekso when he's in a position to wave dash. Full spin by Eekso, doesn't catch the volley particularly well though. We're almost a minute into OT. Eekso's missed a boost there. It's almost resulted in a goal for Jwols, who's coming in from the opposite side now. Eekso making sure to get goal side on that touch. Now he's got another opportunity to dribble. Jwols is not goal side, but he will get a touch on the ball as it comes straight down the middle.
What are your thoughts on the recent RLCS casting talent exodus?
Oh yeah, there's been a couple of casting talent changes for RLCS. Findable Carpet, who was one of my favorite RLCS casters. Someone that me and him go way back in Rocket League. So I'm really sad to see him no longer casting RLCS. And Axel Toss, the host, has also announced today that he's no longer going to be casting, although a lot of people were speculating that it was less of a personal decision. It didn't sound like it was his idea not to continue hosting, at least trying to read in between the lines in his tweet. I don't have any information about either of those decisions. Just FYI, before more people ask. Hold on a second, that might be the game. Never mind, Eekso just missing wide of the net, but he's chasing down Jwols, who does get away. Almost 2 minutes into overtime here in a 14-goal game. Eekso still chasing down Jwols, but that might be the game. He's missed another demo. Jwols gets away from him twice in a row, and he will take game one. What a comeback by Jwols at the end there. And he just got away with his life on 2 occasions. And he's got the upset game 1 win. Big plays coming out of the Norwegian. Alright, this will be best of 5, by the way, for anybody just tuning in right now. Surf and Burden, thanks for 18-month tier 1s. Satnav with the 9-month prime, welcome back. Manitos with the 2-month prime, welcome back to you as well. Now, for everybody asking, am I going to be hosting RLCS now that Axel Toss is gone? No, and I don't know who is. But they definitely wouldn't want me hosting it. I've never hosted anything but my stream, and it's a bit of a different vibe. Oh! So Jwols actually banged this in his own net, but he had to do something, as Eekso would have been scoring if he didn't. And yeah, Eekso was putting that on target. The touch just got Jwols to miss. You know, in that position, I think Jwols dodging was actually a misplay. If he'd just driven straight forward into the ball, his hitbox would have been a bit lower and had a better chance to keep the ball out of the net. Jwols doesn't have a dodge here, but Eekso's just ran all the way back and let him come at him. And Jwols has had a couple of low 50-50s in this match already. Eekso should be pretty afraid of this. Just squashed it in. Johnny, you'd be the perfect caster. Have faith in yourself. Well, I mean, Axel Toss didn't cast. He hosted. He did desk hosting, which I don't think I would be that good at. I don't think I'd particularly enjoy it as well. At least not at this stage in my, you know, progression through content creation and casting. Like, I can host things like the Manfield Night 5K. That's no big deal. Like, I think I would be alright at it, but I don't really want to, you know? Jwols takes another lead here with Eekso's speciality. These two are teammates, so I'm sure that they see plenty of these if they play 2v2 or 3v3 together. I casted 12 Titans, what do you mean? Yeah, but you guys, you misunderstand. Hosting and casting are 2 completely different things. If you're hosting an analyst desk, you're the guy who throws to advert breaks, who like kind of leads the discussion and makes sure that everybody's talking and gets all the information across. Open net for Eekso. Jwols miles out of the play, and it will be a tie game here in game 2. But yeah, like casting is something that I'd say I'm much better at these days. I think I'm way better at casting than I am at hosting or doing desk analysis. Even though for some reason a lot of people think I would be a good fit for an like analyst desk, when like, I think I'm miles better at casting. I mean, I cast several times a week on my stream. I don't do analyst desk practice on my stream, however. So it just goes, well, it kind of, you know, leading off that, I think I'm just better at what I practice all the time. That's just my personal opinion though. So couldn't get in the way of this long shot from Jwols, and he's still applying a lot of pressure here. Eekso in a bit of trouble by the looks of things. Jwols has looked pretty solid. He's not had any weird sideways challenges in this match, which is very promising for him. I point out too many mistakes. Well, during casting or during analysis, I don't think I pointed too many mistakes. I will not agree with that, I'm afraid. I listened back to my own casting, and I used to be like, I'd say a little bit more mistake-oriented. But I don't think that's the case anymore, personally. I did, in the past, try and level it out. Oh, Jwols just missed an open net, by the way. Sorry for pointing out that mistake. I mean, like replay reviews. Replay reviews and like doing kind of analysis content doesn't translate well to analysis desk. Kind of at all, I would say. It doesn't really have much crossover. Jwols does hit his open net this time. Why have I not had the chance to cast RLCS? I mean, they focus on mostly American casters because they're an American company. So that's probably why Jwols is a cheeky demo. Now, will he cross over to Eekso? He's going to go straight down the line at him, but the hook shot is still available. Eekso will just close the gap and get a really nice exchange, to be honest. This is far better than being dribbled straight down the middle of the field. Eekso really wanting to get this 360 flick going. He's never been in the perfect position for it, though. What he's trying to do,
keep up the amazing work.
Make a full rotation and then flip right at the end of the play to catch out Jwols with a late touch. But he needs his card to be closer to the ball for that to happen. The entire rotation has to happen extremely close to the ball for it to work out. It's all about the setup. And strangely, Eekso's not had the best flick setup today. Something that he needs to get back on track. Jwols thinking about more low challenges and 50-50s. It's a pretty low risk game so far for Jwols, and he avoids another demo. Like, it might not seem like much, but these are like demolition avoidances that Jwols is pulling out are the difference between losing goals and games and actually staying alive and keeping his hopes of winning the game alive as well. Jwols just catches a piece of that one. He's a bit unfortunate not to be in the lead by 2 at the moment. Eekso trying to pinch this one off a ceiling shot. He's going to get a second chance, but he can't get lined up for it before Jwols gets back. And Jwols is still frustrating Eekso so much. This is a difficult game for Eekso to be playing. Now Jwols is actually just giving Eekso another open net though, and can he get back in time? I don't think he can. Never mind, he will. I was watching that one on my OBS preview and it was like a little postage stamp size thumbnail real quick. I wanted to make sure that I had the right score. Eekso will tie the game. He's got the ball past Jwols at the near post. It's a pretty difficult position to score from, in all honesty. But a very good turn, almost in a spot for Eekso, will get him another chance at this game. Do I think gainers and LEDs mechanics would hold up in top level play? No, I don't. But that's because we probably both have a different understanding of the word mechanics. When most of the Rocket League community hears mechanics, they think that means air dribbles, ceiling shots, flip resets, anything like that. Double, triple touches, like that's all that people think mechanics, or those are the only things that people think fall under the category of mechanics. But mechanics are, just as important, if not more so, for ground shots, like landings, recoveries, just actually driving in the right directions, air rolls, like pretty much anything related to moving your car and then hitting the ball is mechanical ability. Like actually the action of doing it. And there's some fantastic recovery from Jwols, just as we were talking about it all. He's got a touch here, landed with his car facing down the wall just so he can accelerate into position that bit faster. He's tied things up here. Almost beating Eekso at his own game there. It's usually the thing that Eekso does just as well or better than anyone else. The in-game speed. Jwols has got him in a really rough spot here, and with how strong his 50-50s have looked so far this game, he wouldn't really want to beat Eekso right now. He'd rather be a couple of goals ahead. Early flick. It's all Jwols' early challenges that have forced that misplay out of Eekso, and now Jwols with the openest of nets that you're ever going to see. He's even tried to waste a couple seconds off the clock here just to make it even less likely that Eekso comes back. But you can see the frustration from Eekso. He wouldn't usually go for that, but Jwols has been so difficult to get the ball past that Eekso's falling for this trick as Jwols baits him in, gets a save just enough away from the goal, and then scores in the open net counter-attack. Looks like Eekso might be changing the car here before we get into game 3. He needs to reverse sweep, so he'll have to pull out his best car design imaginable here. Goldie, thanks to the 9-month prime, by the way. I appreciate that. What would you recommend to improve recoveries? If your car's not landing completely straight or completely backwards, one thing that you can do is hold power slide when you land, because when you land any direction that isn't straight forward or straight back, your car is going to skid a little bit or kind of stick to the ground when you go for that landing. But if you hold power slide, your car is going to slide, it's not going to stick, and you can slide and then turn your car to face a proper direction. That's one way to do it. But the main things about recovering fast, like, would be landing on your wheels, first of all. That's the most important thing. Landing with your wheels facing forwards or backwards and then half flipping into position. Making sure that you are trying to face the direction that you want to go. And if you have the extra boost to do it, boosting back down onto the ground. Oh wow, did he sort of so goal this? Like, boosting back down onto the ground after you've fallen out of position is also a good idea. Wow, I think Eekso might have actually just own goaled that. I'm not sure if Jwols' shot was on target, but it is now going to be a tie game. Rock 5000, thanks to the 3-month prime, welcome back. Would I say Squishy is the best at recovering? He's definitely one of the best. I don't know if he's the best. I think Justin's probably the best. Well done by Eekso not to get scored on here. Looked like a pretty good chance for Jwols. As Eekso gives up on that double touch attempt, he would have probably been beaten to the ball. I'm going to say probably, I mean definitely. Hang on a second, that's almost on target. Eekso is not giving up on this attack just yet, but he's getting bumped left, right and centre. Jwols decides to take a little detour to the side of the field to get boost, and he gets dunked on almost immediately. Kodaddy, welcome back, 8-month in a row, how you doing? That's a one boost Eekso challenge. And the reason why Eekso's doing this so frequently is because by his estimation, he's not the favourite to get a save if he backs off and goes to his goal. He thinks he's probably getting scored on a lot of the time anyway, if they replayed that position over and over again. So he just throws in the early challenge, and he knows if Jwols flicks this ball, I'm getting scored on. But hey, if I go back to goal, I'm probably getting scored on as well. So he might as well. So he just goes back. Or he just makes the challenge straight away. And, you know, with one of Eekso's, I'd say, not weaknesses, but one of the things that he's probably weaker at compared to other players at his skill level would be shadow defense. That's why he tries not to put himself in the position where he has to rely on his shadowing too much. What a recovery by Eekso. Just what we were talking about earlier, he's used his boost to fly back down quicker, because if he didn't, he wouldn't have saved that. A backflip shot for Eekso is almost on. Not quite fast enough. Eekso gets the boost, has to half flip back into position. He's got a bump onto Jwols off the wall though, and the ball control is there for Eekso. Should be a goal, and it will be a goal. And a lead for Eekso in game 3. Savage Sonny, welcome back for the 8th month in a row. How you doing, mate? Well, it's actually 2 months in a row, but 8 total. There you go, we're seeing some new totals here today. Yeah, if you want to get good recoveries, just try practicing landing on walls and floors and ceilings. One like easy free way to practice your recoveries is after every single goal gets scored that launches you into the air with a goal explosion, try to land on the ceiling with your car. You'll see professional players and like other high-rated players doing it all the time. Whenever a goal explosion happens, they always land on the ceiling with their car, and they'll usually try and land either facing their car forwards or backwards relative to which direction their momentum is in. And that's a pretty easy way to learn how to, or at least improve your ability to land whenever you're falling onto a surface. Eekso, again, looking for pressure plays. He's refusing to back down here. He just beats Jwols to the boost. He will get a shadow save. Land facing forward, but Jwols has got it past him. Without going too high or too fast, he's found a gap.
Longest time I've ever been subscribed. You deserve it, man.
And you know, that was a decent save by Eekso, but it could have been so much better. If he got that pop a little bit higher into the goal, he would have given himself like more time to land, get back out of the goal, and make the double save, something that we see quite frequently at high rating these days. That pre-jump by Jwols. He just knew that Eekso was looking for an air dribble bump attempt, and he's going to bang in the rebound for an equalizer. And Jwols today is looking just as sharp as he did when he played against the Diamond 2s Diamond 1s the other day. 9to5 Gamer, thanks to the tier 1 sub. Armbiter with a 6 month in a row, welcome back. And an Awkward Tree for 3 month, welcome back also. Jwols looking for a bump, he scored himself, and Eekso's got a lot of alone time now with an open net. It's the most aggressive game that we've seen yet from Jwols. And at times it's worked out wonderfully, and at other times Stuff like this has happened. He needs to try and find the balance today. Speed and Ronicky want a 1v1 still. The now what do you call it? The rivalry is still extending. Is Ronicky in the top 100 right now? I know that he was taking some games off Speed the other day. I don't know who won eventually on their stream that they were doing. But overall, has he been climbing? Oh no, Jwols. He can only look backwards into his own net as the ball finds its way there. That bump from Eekso just completely screwed Jwols over. It's just being savage as ever here. Well, let's see if Eekso can continue this streak. It looks like he's going to get a bit of a road bump immediately. Hey, 95 Gamer, thanks for gifting a sub to Flakes. And GDH Ghost, thanks for the 3-month prime. Welcome back. Eekso really has to try and short up on this kickoff. I mean, that's a pretty good response. And he has been losing quite a lot of kickoff goals this series. Jwols completely beat that one though.
To your YouTube vids, keep up the great work.
Yeah, I'll try my best, man. Thanks for the kind words. Yeah, Ronicky, I saw that he was like ranked 30 or something in 1v1, which isn't surprising to me because he's like got a really good shot. He's got great recoveries, very good shadowing. I think the main thing that he needs to work out is how to like pressure the ball more when his opponent is attacking. Eekso with an open net here and 3 boosts to score it, but that'll be plenty with how easy this one is. He's got 3-goal lead. What time is it where I'm at? It is now 1:36 in the morning. So yeah, we are getting on pretty late here. Have we got any tier 3 subscribers in the chat who are looking for replay reviews after this is over? So I'm not sure if it will be for a while. Eekso on the comeback trail means we could be seeing another 2 games after this one. We'll see at least one. Looks like this one is going to go in Eekso's favour. Jwols still not out of it yet though. Eekso's making it very difficult for him. He's not giving him any room to breathe. He's not giving him any time on the ball. Let's try and set up a counter attack. MWB's down. I'll have to see if anybody higher up the list is here, but if not, then absolutely my friend. Did you see that recovery by Eekso? He actually just turtled into position and still caught the ball. He's gonna do some things that are honestly quite special sometimes. Jwols here just taking the scenic route back to net. Will not get a save on that boomer. Any tips for someone wanting to get better at Rocket League? Just hit the ball harder. You're probably not hitting the ball very hard if you're having to ask this question. Or drive faster on average. But don't just drive around like a maniac. Actually try and drive in useful positions. Oh, as Jwols has got the rocket trail bug. He's got the single line of his rocket trail coming out of the middle of his car right now. I've not seen that bug in a while. This game really did kind of get out of hand though. Eekso's absolutely got the win here. Hit the ball harder is great advice. It's honestly like the biggest problem for 99% of Rocket League players is they don't actually know how to hit the ball really hard. Every time they hit it, they're losing so much power because they don't hit the ball through the center of its mass. Musty made a video of how to play at speed. I mean, playing at speed is pretty easy. You just hold boost until you're supersonic, drive over a lot of boost pads, and then land on your wheels facing forwards. Pretty basic stuff. How to play at speed usefully is not quite as straightforward. A lot more turning involved. Alright, let's see if Eekso can fully turn this series around now. He's still got to get 2 wins in a row if he wants to win this one. Plat 3 to diamond tips. Stop going for aerials. Literally, if you never go for any aerials in offense and only go for aerials in defense, your rank will probably increase. Do you think K-Dop is best at shooting? Yeah, probably. Probably. Nobody else has proven themselves to be as prolific a striker at the highest level than K-Dop. In terms of just pure shooting power and accuracy, K-Dop is the full package. Good play by Eekso. Not to jump before this ball arrives at his net. He's got Jwols in an awkward spot here, and there is the demo. Eekso starting game 2 strong. And the open net will give him the lead. gold 3 to plat tips, stop going for aerials. There's like way too many players going for aerials in the lower ranks. Like the ball will just pop up in the air in the other team's half, and the entire lobby goes up in the air. And then whichever team has a player who didn't commit to the air just scores an open net after everybody stopped flying and missed the ball. Yeah, most people just want to go for aerials all the time because aerials are cool, and people think it makes them a good player if they go for aerials and they hit the ball in the air. They're like, man, look at me, that was good. Where was my team? I hit the ball in the air, then we got scored on. And their team was also going for the same aerial. Champ 3 to Grand Champ. If it's 2v2, probably stop going for as many aerials. It sounds like I'm trolling, but I'm not. In Champ 3, even low Grand Champ, like 2v2, people go for way too many aerials. I'm not actually joking. Like the fact that people will try to go for aerials right in front of the opposing team's net when the goalkeeper might have boost baffles me. Like, what if the goalie also has boost and then there's a 50-50? Like, about 75% of the time, if you take a 50-50 with the opposition goalie after your teammate centers the ball in 2v2, you are getting scored on. But maybe 25% of the time, you're the team that's going to score next. But that's just a rough estimation. Look at that landing by Eekso. The wave dash. Corby good. Thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. I really appreciate that. I want to make a quick amendment of my previous advice though, and that's that aerials are absolutely necessary in defense. Like going up to take an aerial 50-50 or like an aerial battle with somebody in defense in 2v2, absolutely necessary. You can't just watch them go and hit the ball for free. You've got to try and stop them from doing that. So couldn't quite get a flick on that ball. It rolled a little bit too far forward. That's why people like playing 3v3 though, is they don't really need to think about what they're doing or like where they're going or whether they should be going for a ball, because maybe 95% of the time in 3v3, when you can beat somebody to the ball or when you can beat the entire lobby to the ball, you're first to it, you should go and you don't really need to think about it. And that's why people play threes, because they don't really need to think, they just ball chase. Eekso has his flip here. He didn't get a good connection on it. Wouldn't be the first time I've seen him score one of those. Yeah, consistency is also pretty big, but that's a pretty vague piece of advice. Like if somebody asked me for advice on how to rank up and I said just be more consistent, like that's probably not going to help them very much, you know? Good way to play ones. You're always too passive or aggressive. Oh dear, Eekso has just thrown away an open net. I'd like to think that he was trying to waste some time here, not just missing by accident. But he's put it in, and this is actually really interesting. So he's shown his backside to Jwols, driven away, thus indicating to Jwols, I'm out of here. I'm not interested in this play. It's all yours. And then he challenges backwards, which is usually not the best or most successful way to challenge in Rocket League. But with the current metagame in Rocket League 1v1, like when somebody fakes a challenge, the offensive player will usually just take control of the ball, try to start a dribble. It suddenly makes challenging backwards a little bit better. He's so starting to, I think, feel himself a little bit here. He's feeling confident, it would seem. Another floor pinch clear. 4 plinch clear. I can't speak. Eekso's looking very good this last game, though. Oh dear, Jwols! That's the post pinch it just to keep it out of his own net. It's all gone wrong for Jwols in this 4th game. Not had any real options on what to do, as Eekso's been too successful with his aggression. That's an in and out save. And the boost is spawning behind Eekso. He's not even going to go for it though. He's going to keep on aggressing with no boost. And Jwols doesn't even know if Eekso actually has no boost as he power slides into position. Accepting a low 50-50 with pretty, I would say, pretty much 100% success rate so far in this game. Eekso with his classic pinch off the wall strategy. He's just outpaced Jwols so much this game. 4-0. And although at times he's looked a bit dodgy, I think it's been calculated risk from Eekso. Still though, not completely. I've seen him do this in other games where he's up by 2 and then he misses an open net and ends up losing the game. But oh my goodness, Eekso with the wave dash flick on the landing while backwards hits off the posts. That would have been one of the best goals we've seen in quite a while for a 1v1 show match. He had to do a backwards wave dash into backwards flick to set that one up. It's the only way that he could get that much speed on the ball. And, you know, it's not over just yet. Jwols has had quite a few kickoff goals, but to get 2 in a row and then take control of the ball is not going to be easy. I'm sure Eekso would mix something up, but it's actually going to be a great team play. These guys are now teammates, of course, and looks like that is going to come into play in this one's match. How to get out of C3 in ones. I've actually not seen what the level of play is in C3 low Grand Champ in 1v1 at the moment. Since they changed the rank distribution, I really don't know, so I can't really tell you. But you're probably not being aggressive enough. The top ones players, you know, Grand Champ and the like, are usually extremely aggressive players, and they don't give you much time on the ball. Like, their default will be to challenge as early as possible, and then they'll mix in some fake challenges and shadowing plays in between. So you're probably not being aggressive enough when you're in defense. Which playlists are affected by the rank? It's only solo 3s and 1v1 and all of the extra modes, I think. No 2v2 or 3s. There's more Grand Champs in 1v1 than there are Champ 3 players. That's because all the Champ 3 players that did exist have all gotten Grand Champ with the rank redistribution. The Champ 2s probably haven't played yet, not realizing that that's happened. But yeah, Psionic's made a change that you can actually now probably get a free rank in 1v1 or solo standard or hoops, rumble, drop shot, ice hockey. If you just play the game mode for like 3 games, you're probably going to go up a rank. Jwols playing all the mind games here. It's ended with another low 50-50 with Eekso will see coming and stop. Good adaptation mid-series here from Eekso to start to see these coming. Jwols has been doing this quite often in this series. Into the air goes Eekso. He had to because Jwols was threatening a challenge. He gets demoed for his trouble though, does Jwols. Eekso with another pinch attempt. This time he lands a bit too soon. Jwols almost getting caught out with it. Didn't quite see it coming by the looks of things. He's looking for the boost respawn, but it's not happened quite early enough for Jwols. Eekso also low on boost. Looks like Jwols did wait around in the corner for the boost to appear, and he's going to get a counter-attack goal. Eekso just needed one more boost pad, and he would have had that, but he didn't quite get it. Lil Wolf to me, thanks to the 5-month Prime. Also, Carbon Coyote, thanks to the brand new Prime. Sorry, I didn't see that one when it happened.
How's it going, Beanbag?
It's going pretty good. It's not going too badly at all. We casted a pretty cool freestyle 1v1 earlier, and now we've got 2 fantastic EU 1v1 talents bringing it to Game 5. Of course, anybody who saw Eekso in the Medfield Night 5K will not be at all surprised that an Eekso series has gone to Game 5. He did go to Game 5 in all of his series that he played in League play, apart from against Fairy Peak, and he set himself up for an equalize with a half flip here. Jwols playing so passively here, playing so slowly. What was holding him back, I wonder? He's definitely worried about getting beaten to the punch by Eekso, who has usually got the speed advantage. Getting out of plat 3 in ones. Again, I don't really know like what the level of play is at plat 3 in ones, but you're probably not good enough at shooting, or you could probably improve at shooting. I'm sure that the vast majority of plat 3 1v1 players could get better at just taking good ground shots, because if you take a shot at somebody's net, you probably have a better recovery than if you take a flick. A lot of people rely too much on flicks, but don't just try and don't not dribble. Don't take only long shots. You want to dribble the ball into like a position that you can take a good shot, of course. Oh, Jwols didn't get the save here. I thought he was going to get it, but he still gets to tie game with the ball carried into air dribble. And I reckon that Jwols has hung back there, expecting Eekso to dip down and try for the air dribble bump. This time Eekso is just going straight over the top for the air dribble. No demo attempted for Eekso. I think that's a good idea, because Jwols has had a good, I would say, rate of evasion so far this series. Still been demoed a fair bit, but usually it's because Eekso's forcing him out of position, not because he's had a lack of vision on where Eekso's pathing. Jwols decides not to rip a long shot off the wall here. He's taking control on the ground. Eekso manages to force him into an early flick though, just by putting himself close to the play. Eekso's had to run away from Jwols, looking for a demo, and he gets caught in the midfield as he tries to rotate forward into attack. And There's an outplay by Jwols. Early challenge by Eekso is not going to work. Jwols with the slow roll again. And has Eekso just given away the control of this series? Jwols has been controlling the majority of kickoffs this match. And he will control this one as well. But it's such a smart play by Jwols to go for an early flick there. He's going to get a 2-goal lead. Eekso's not back in time after grabbing boost in the back corner. You just missed it by a hair. And that was all of the gap that Jwols needed to put the shot past him. It's 2 minutes and 6 left, and Jwols might be about to get a 3-goal lead here. He's got a hugely advantageous position. And you can just tell Eekso's not comfortable with that spacing. He does not like it when Jwols has the option to flick it past him. He doesn't enjoy having to fake these challenges. That's why he goes for so many early challenges himself, because the shadowing might not be up to par with the rest of his gameplay, but he's only 2 goals down. Backflip flick into the bar, but Jwols with some fantastic control. He's managed to take this all the way around to the side of the field and grab a 100 boost in the process. Eekso gets it just enough on it to make the save, but it's Jwols' game to lose. He's got Eekso chasing after him. Eekso looking for a backwards goal, doesn't catch it on the right side of his car. Bushby products of the 4-month Prime sub, by the way.
Great content as always.
Hey, thanks, man. Got Eekso on the ropes. He looked so solid last game, but Jwols has made him a bit uncomfortable in this final game of the series. You know, props to Jwols for making it this close against such an experienced show match player. Into the air goes Eekso. Air dribble it is. He can't get past Jwols, though. He's standing so strong in the way, and that bump might actually help Jwols more than it hinders him. Indeed it will. Into the air goes Jwols, and he's bumped Eekso out of the way. And now he's got a 3-goal lead. And that bump by Eekso did not help him out. He actually propelled Jwols towards the ball. And it's now absolutely Jwols' game to lose. Eekso is up against it. Jwols almost makes it 6. Eekso gets one back, though. That's going to be a fast dribble play, and I can't believe that Jwols has thrown himself in for a challenge here. He's had a pretty good success rate of defending Eekso's dribbles with fake challenges, shadowing, last-second saves. This time he just dives in sideways, the problem he had in game 1. Another kickoff win, though, for Jwols. He's got Eekso in an extremely precarious position in terms of the series. Yes, he has somewhat retaken control of the ball, but Jwols is right behind him, and he should be able to waste the time here. Eekso's gunning for him, but Jwols absorbs the challenge, and surely, with that touch, has just beaten Eekso. Yes, it will be 5-3 in the last game to Jwols. GG's, the two teammates. Very, very close this series, but Jwols takes it down. Bit of an upset win there over Eekso, who took too long to get started. He'll be looking back at that game 1 as well and think, how have I lost this? He faked a challenge, forced Jwols onto the back wall on 0 seconds, and Jwols hit the rebound with the underside of his card. GG's Jwols, thanks for swinging by late at night. Same for Eekso, this is really late in EU. Appreciate these guys staying up and putting on a show for us. But wow, I did not expect Jwols to bring it to Eekso like that. He just had a fantastic dribble in game 5. That early flick to get the lead was so sick. I think it was his goal, the flick that he made for goal number 3 in game 5, where he just made an early flick play. Like, if you guys feel like you lose to ball chasers a lot in 1v1, and I'm not calling Eekso a ball chaser by any means. Maybe he would call himself one, but I'm not going to. But yeah, if you want to know what to do against ball chasers, just go and look at that 3rd goal for Jwols. He took a light first touch and immediately flicked it, and in came Eekso, and he missed the ball. That's how you take it past people who keep on rushing you.